I'm Christopher Zweig, and this week on CJ at the Movies, I talk about the new dinosaur movie, It Ends on Oak Street, as well as new films starring Jeff Daniels and Kristen Stewart. Let's take a look. Our first movie is The End of Oak Street, which I think is the best dinosaur movie since the original Jurassic Park. This is a thrilling, emotional, funny, and exciting entry from It Follows director David Robert Mitchell and producer J.J. Abrams, and it refuses to have the same meals as the recent Jurassic World movies. The time is 1982, and we meet a family consisting of parents Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, and their two kids Maisie Stella and Christian Convery. Within the next few nights, they start seeing a bright white light that eventually leads to a power outage, but there are no hurricanes or transformer explosions. Their neighborhood has been relocated to the prehistoric era. That means dinosaurs are chasing people through houses and lawns. Like last week's horror bomb Ice Cream Man, The End of Oak Street begins with a sunny and almost happy community that never dreams of carnage happening within the next few days. But this movie actually delivers. It raises some good questions about this kind of paradox and uses the right actors to display their fears and curiosity of what has happened and how they can get back to the future, pun intended. It doesn't need a big hero to save these people, it uses these people to save themselves. It takes many risks with the carnage and dialogue, even at its PG-13 rating, and it keeps us thinking about the possibilities this movie unfolds for us. So, after The Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day, The End of Oak Street is your next best choice of a summer blockbuster. So see it. Our next movie is Nimrods, a comedy inspired by Green Day's early success and telling the story of a high school band named Analog Dogs. The members are played by Mason Thames, Kyler Kaufman, and Ryan Faust, and two of them, who are American idiots, meet Green Day at a meet and greet and give them their demo tape. When the Thames character traps his older brother, Keen Ruffalo, on the roof, he decides to get back at him by having his dopey friend Ignacio Diaz Silverio call him as Trey Cool and tell them he wants them to open for Green Day on New Year's Eve, so they steal his cab and hit the road. As a Green Day fan, I can tell when Nimrods has a lot of their spirits, and as a comedy fan, I know when it's laugh-out-loud funny. Sure, it has its formulas as a coming-of-age road trip movie, but it still has its humor and heart in the right place. The young actors are very funny, the stupidity that emerges is honest, and the music wovens well with their trip. So I hope you've had the time of your life with this one. Next up, Union County, a drama about drug addicts and their struggle for recovery. I saw it from this year's Sundance Film Festival, and I was amazed at Will Poulter's great performance and the sad life this movie represents. He plays Cody Parsons, a young opioid addict in Ohio who is assigned to a county-mandated drug court program, and his foster brother Jack, played by Noah Centineo, is in worse shape when he fails his alcohol screening with only a couple of beers and can't pay his fines. And after a bad night of drugs, which results in a car accident, Jack is placed in an intensive treatment center, while Cody now has a place at the sober house. Union County should delve deeper inside this kind of sad world because the subject matter should hit hard, but it does have a voice and acknowledges what's underneath the surface. At this point, we're more concerned about Cody and how he's dealing with his own treatments and life choices. There are moments when we're supposed to worry about what he's doing, and moments when he makes his speeches with sincerity and truth, and Poulter gives one of his best performances in the ways he eases with the emotions and how he delivers the human characteristics. This is a sad movie, and not every addict will be able to recover or survive, but it's also well acted and drawn with convictions by up-and-coming filmmaker Adam Meeks, who set the recovery story in his hometown. It wants to speak to those who need a second chance at life, and I'm no addict, but I can sense when a movie like this has a voice. It's about triumphs overcoming these kinds of messes, so see it. Next up, The Brink of War, the latest political film released by Angel Studios this summer after The Awful Animal Farm and the well-meaning but less patriotic Young Washington. This one takes place near the end of the Cold War, where Jeff Daniels plays President Ronald Reagan and Jared Harris is the Soviet Union's last leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, both of whom were part of the Reykjavik summit, which determined whether there can be peace or war. The opening credits reminds us that both the United States and Soviet Union had 70,000 nuclear missiles aimed at each other, and while Reagan is planning a missile shield, the Soviet military plans to attack before it can be completed. It all came down to this. It can be corny at times with some obligatory formulas like two journalists sharing chemistry with no character development and American and Russian employees bickering like grade school children on the sidelines, but outside whatever movie formula The Brink of War tries to throw at us, it still has the right performances to resurrect these political figures from different parts of the world. Kudos to Daniels and Harris easing into their roles without trying too hard to impersonate them. I can't get political and speak for any liberal or conservative party, but I can mention that despite the nuclear threats and wars, this dramatization allows Daniels and Harris to make it easy on us. It's up to you depending on your views, but I still say see it. And our last movie is The Wrong Girls, a stoner comedy with Kristen Stewart and Shakat as high friends who are overdue on their rent and find themselves with some magic drugs, the kind that would give them telekinetic powers, which is why they can read each other's thoughts and hear Seth Rogen and Kamal Nanjiani's voices coming from their cats. so imagine if Matilda and Garfield were adapted as stoner comedies mixed with some Midnight Run vibes, and Seth Rogen made a stoner movie like that with Pineapple Express less than 20 years ago. They both end up in danger from Dutch criminals associated with the drugs, while the good guys behind them include Lakeith Stanfield as a hero of sorts, Kay McKinnon as a Mel Brooks-like scientist, and Gina Davis as another scientist who appears near the end of the film. The Wrong Girls is the directorial debut of Dylan Meyer, who also wrote XO, XO, and Moxie, and while her screenplay may be too high for my comprehension, she still delivers a lot of X Factor, a cute sense of humor, and comedy talents who have no integrities. Stewart and Shakat both have chemistry and timing to play the stoners who have potential but can be limited goal-wise, and even in the crime genre they find themselves in, they're not desperate to thrive on it, they just go along with it. So see it. Recapping this week's new movies: thumbs up for The End of Oak Street, thumbs up for Nimrods, thumbs up for Union County, thumbs up for The Brink of War, and thumbs up for The Wrong Girls. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week. I'm Christopher Swag. Stay safe and I'll see you at the movies.